Scandinavian fairy who appears almost always male, almost always in the water. His magic is with music, and he appears almost always naked. Occasionally, he will take a child or a woman as a student, and then their music is magical and magnificent.
Are they naked?
Met her Fossegrim without even opening her eyes. She had stolen into the woods 2 weeks before her 16th birthday to play on the dulcimer her father had carved for her and taught her how to play, along with the violin and the harp. Her older siblings had had lessons too, of course, but Kalia had the knack. And so she grew into her father's favorite. He had just recently died. And so here she was, in the forest by the river, trying to match the tune to the ache in her heart and the rhythm of the water. She looked into that deep, dark water and wondered, if I slipped beneath the surface, instead of playing my music, would it matter? Would it feel better? Her father had died just recently, and after the funeral, everyone else had gone back to life as usual, but Kalia, she couldn't. Life was gray. Her heart hurt, her every intake of breath was painful, her skin rippled in agony for being around other people. She tried to match, but she could not. She stood now with her eyes closed, and across the water came the unmistakable sound of harmonies being played on a violin. Had one of her brothers followed her? Helm or Jan? No, the music was too beautiful, too haunting. And as she stood there with her eyes closed, listening, the music reached inside of her and gently and slowly undid the worst knots of her grief. She still felt the loss, of course, but now she felt that she could be comforted. She felt that she could and would heal. Teach me to do that. She didn't know to whom she was pleading or even if the words had escaped her lips, but when she opened her eyes, she saw a man standing in a small fall of the river, playing the most beautiful violin. The wood glowed in the moonlight. The strings had such perfect, ethereal sound. And he was wearing not a stitch, so she could see that he was perfect as well. His skin was somehow the color of water, now green, now blue, now gray. Certainly not human, but she didn't find him frightening or even odd. I can teach you, if you're sure. She looked into his eyes, and from the moment she nodded, Kalia's life was consumed by the Fossegrim. He taught her about music and magic day and night. He could not be far from the water, and so they built a small house next to the river. Sometimes her brothers would come to visit, bringing an animal or a neighbor who needed healing. But no one ever saw her teacher, except for Kalya. 2 weeks before her 23rd birthday, he came over to her and touched her face. I have taught him all I know of healing and music and magic. I should return to my home under the river, under the water where the river meets the sea. And Kalya, she reached out her hand and touched his face and said, "Don't go." And so he did not. And now they shared a bed in the little house by the river, and they taught each other much. And while he was playing music or singing with her, or had her in his arms, he seemed very happy. But often, Kalya would see him in the water, and he would stop while he was swimming or wading and look downstream with such a look of longing. He wasn't happy then. 2 weeks before Kalya's 30th birthday, she was looking in the glass, and she saw 2 crow's tracks on the side of each of her eyes. And she realized that while she had changed much in the last 14 years, her Fossegrim was still the unlined perfection that she had first met. "Will you never age?" "Never. But I will." And the fear closed around her until he said, "You don't have to. You could come with me to my home under the water where the river meets the sea, and there you will never age." So Kalya took her dulcimer and wrapped it in oilcloth and took his hand, and they went under the water and swam down to his home where the river met the sea. And there were such wonders and magic as she could not even imagine. And year after year they would rise to the surface and they would sing and play music together. And while she was lying in his arms and they were playing music, she was very happy. But whenever she was not, the melancholy surrounded her heart, and the pull back to her own kind threatened. And 2 weeks before her 37th birthday, her heart cracked. "I must go back to the air breathers. But you will age. You will wither, and one day you will die." "I know." As she looked at his face, she saw a spasm of agony. And then he slumped in resignation. "We will go back." "No," said Kalya. And she put out her hand and touched his chest and turned her head so he would not see the water fall from her eyes. "You should not go." And after a long moment, he nodded. Will you take my violin with you as a gift?" Not as a gift, but as a trade. And so Kalya went back and lived in that little house by the river, and after some time, she found a man from the village she could marry. And miracle of miracles, they were blessed with children. But every year, 2 weeks before her birthday, Talia would go by herself down to the river where it opened to the sea, and she would play her unearthly violin, and the music would come back.